What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hart DFS, and today we have another NBA Draftkings slate breakdown for April 5th, which is tomorrow. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Hart. I make daily NBA, NFL, PGA slate breakdowns for Draftkings, as well as prize pick videos and NBA Top Shot and NFL All Day content as well. So definitely check out those videos on my channel. Thank you guys for all the love and support so far. 125 subscribers. Really blew past that 100 goal mark. So let's get to 200. I know we could get there in a week, maybe less, hopefully. So thank you for all the continued love. Let's keep the subscribers going, keep the likes going, keep the comments going. Really do appreciate it. And if we could get to 100 followers on Twitter, that'd be huge. Really want to start engaging with you guys more on Twitter. So make sure to head over there to my Twitter and give me a follow. Let's get to 100 by this Friday. And let's hop into this slate breakdown for today. A big 12 gamer. For tomorrow. We got a big 12 gamer. Should be a lot of good games to watch. There's final 4 games of the season. So people are really jousting for the playoff spots. Have about, 2-3 more games out of the 4 to really solidify those spots. So definitely some good games to watch. We got Joel Embiid at the top, 12K. Start off a little slow against Cleveland, but going to be a great spot against Indiana. There is a little bit of blowout risk, so Joel looks like a great spin up at 12K, but there is just that tad blowout risk. Indiana has been getting blown out in the first quarter and first half, and 3 straight games, and surprisingly they've brought it back in the second half, past 3 games, but they end up losing probably by like 15-20. So I don't know if Joel gets his full run, so we'll have to see about that. Harden just looks priced about right. He's not shooting the ball a ton. They don't really need him to. They've been kind of handling these crappier teams with ease. And so, I just expect him to have his classic like 50 fantasy point game, which is not bad at 10-4. I don't know if you had to force it against Indiana. Maxey, Harris are just more secondary plays. Don't think you really have to get there against Indiana. Indiana side, they're pretty bad. Brogdon is questionable, but most likely won't play because they're tanking. Halliburton, he's going to be low owned. Play at 9K. I don't think he had to do it. Seems a little bit forced. He has been having some great games, especially assist wise. 61 fantasy points last game. Not shooting the ball a ton, which you don't like to see. He's been shooting it well. Playing a ton of minutes. I just think 9K for him in the spot is a little tough to get to. Same thing with Buddy Hield, just too score independent in this matchup against Philly. O'Shea's been priced up a bit. Goga's questionable, so he might be out. I wouldn't advise playing any center against Embiid. It's just instant foul trouble. They'll play guys like Jackson, Jalen Smith, Terry Taylor. So I don't know if I can really trust anyone on this side, on Indiana's side. Moving on to Cleveland. Really love Garland in this spot. 9-6. Prices come down a bit. Still scoring well. Just his assists have kind of been all over the board. Still getting a ton of minutes. I do really like him against Orlando. Orlando's basically tanking. They're pretty much giving up. They had no reason to play for the past 3 months anyways, or the whole season, because they've been brutal. But they've been a great team to target against just when it comes to playing people, because they've been giving up so many points. So I really like Garland in this spot. Jared Allen is questionable, which is interesting. If he plays, I do like him. His finger, so I don't think there'd be any minutes limit. And if there's not, 7,500 in this matchup against Orlando, I think it'd be a great one. Maybe there's a little bit of rust just because of being out for like a month plus. But if he's playing, I don't mind him. Same thing with Garland. I think LeVert is priced to perfection. Just don't really like him in the spot just with Garland getting all the usage and the prices coming up. Kevin Love, decent tournament play. It's just his minutes are all over the board. Not shooting the ball a ton. You'd expect him and his usage to go up with the big men being out, but that's just not the case for Kevin Love, supposedly. Markkanen's come down in price. Do really like Moses Brown once again. 4,800. They've been, choosing to play him more than Kevin Love. And as I said last game, don't play him against Embiid. Foul trouble is most likely going to happen, and it did. But if Allen is back, I don't know if you had to get to Moses Brown. He'd probably see maybe 15 minutes at most. They'll probably just run with Allen, his normal amount of minutes. And that does it for me on this side. It's mostly just Allen and Garland at the top, or Moses Brown if Allen doesn't play. Orlando side, Wendell's out. Mo Bamba, I do have interest there at 6,300. Game blew out, still played 30 minutes. He's an okay scorer, can get you rebounds. Can have a decent game when it comes to blocks as well, so I don't mind him against Cleveland. It's a little bit tougher matchup if Jared Allen plays. He's pretty good defensively. Don't know if Mo Bamba would have the best game. Cole Anthony's questionable, same with Franz Wagner. If they're both out, you can definitely look to a guy like Kennedy. He played 30 minutes last game. Didn't shoot the ball well at all, but it kind of seems like the Orlando side is just giving up when it even comes to just playing their young guys. So definitely be on the lookout for playing Kennedy. I'll just put him right there for now to keep you guys updated. So if they're out, definitely look to a guy like Kennedy, and just the news on this team. They might just rest all these guys and just play a horrendous G League lineup. Hampton's been horrendous. Chuma's been horrendous. Markelle, they just haven't been giving him more than like 22 minutes, so he's a good point per minute guy, just not getting the run. Jalen Suggs is questionable. I don't know if they'd play him just these last 4 games. There's no reason to. And Mo Wagner does have a decent ceiling if he's getting the minutes, which he has the past 2 games because they've been blowouts. 31, fantasy points. Not, okay, played 4,200. I just think you have to wait for the news on this side because everyone on the Orlando side just looks like a bad play. Houston, Brooklyn should be a high-scoring game. There is blowout risk in this one as well, just because of Brooklyn and how bad Houston's been. So Kevin Porter Jr., do like him at this price, as I've said the past, 4 or 5 games. Pretty much their point guard. Going to have a lot of usage, a lot of minutes, a lot of opportunities for rebounds, assists, points, scoring. So I do like him in this matchup against Brooklyn, but once again, there is blowout risk, so maybe a little risky. That goes the same for Jalen Green. Very score independent, but he's been going off 25, 30, 32, 33, 31, shooting the ball like 22 times a game, if not more. Shooting the 3 really well as well. So I'd rather go to a guy like Kevin Porter Jr., but Jalen Green is definitely viable. Still really like Sengun. He didn't take a shot in that second half against Minnesota, even though they kind of came back and it made it close. So they only lost by 7, which is pretty interesting to see. He had 12 points or 13. I think it was 12 going into half. And yeah, took 1 shot in the second half, which I don't get, but still really like him at 6'7". Tate's just not getting enough minutes. Josh Christopher had his career game yesterday. I don't think he chased that. Only missed 3 shots. KJ Martin's been splitting around with Tate. Yeah, the other guy I'll mention is Garrison Matthews, getting about 30 minutes, close to it the past 3 games. Can only shoot the ball, so if he's not hitting his shots, he's not going to get you there, but definitely look to him at 3,600 if you want some salary relief. Kevin Durant, 11-6, Kyrie, 10-6, both look really great. KD had a career high scoring game last game, 72. Both great plays. It's just this game might blow out, so they might not pay off their salaries. Drummond's minutes have come down. He's 6,800, which is not bad in this matchup. Just minutes are down. Bruce Brown is back, so no more Patty Mills potentially. Bruce Brown, I guess, decent play, 5,300. He might get a little bit wrong. He might play if there's a blowout. Only playing about minutes are there, so I don't mind him at 5,300 to be honest, because I do think he'd play a little bit if the game blows out. Seth Curry's questionable, score independent, just a better version of Garrison Matthews. Dragic is still out, so maybe Seth, plays a good amount to fill in that backup role, or the point guard role that Dragic was filling in. Patty Mills, ultimate chalk bust, so I guess you could look there if he gets run again, but just really only have interest in, maybe a guy like Claxton. You could see, 25 minutes, if not more, if this game blows out pretty fast. Good point per minute guy, so I don't mind taking a dart throw on him. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to get to anyone on this Brooklyn side. Charlotte, Miami, not a great matchup for Charlotte at all. LaMelo at 9,200, decent price. Had 3 really good games, came back down to earth against Philly. I just don't know if, I'm going to get to any of these Charlotte guys. They're good tournament plays, because they'll probably be low owned against Miami. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get there. Same thing as, Bridges, as I said. Good tournament play. Rozier's price has come down a lot. If I was to take a shot on one of these guys, it would definitely be Rozier. But Gordon is back, played 17 minutes, so we'll probably see maybe 20 this game. But he definitely takes away usage from Washington. and some of these starters. So I don't really not like anyone on that Charlotte side right now. Miami side, always like Bam or Jimmy at this price. Hasn't really been showing any ceiling games as of recently, but it's a good matchup against Charlotte. Bam, 7,900. Prices come down a bit. I really like him in this matchup. I do think we could see a 50, 60-point game from Bam going against Mason Plumlee. Tyler Hero, maybe we'll get the start with Kyle Lowry injury. Questionable. I think they'll probably still keep him on the second team. You could see them sliding in a guy like Gabe Vincent at 3,500. He's decent at shooting the ball, can score. He'd probably, be more prone to getting you a lot more assists than I would say scoring if he slides in the starting lineup. So definitely a guy to keep your eye out on, especially with all this news. But yeah, my only interest here really lies with Gabe Vincent if Lowry's out. Maybe a guy like Victor Oladipo slides in. He played really well last game. Getting a little bit more minutes as of recently, but I think you only go there if Kyle Lowry's out and you get news about Victor maybe being in the starting lineup. Otherwise, I just really look to Bam and Jimmy and that tournament dart throw on Tyler Hero. Atlanta, Toronto, great spot for Trae Young, 10.8K. They need to win every game they can. Trae's going to shoot the ball a ton. Not the best matchup defensively against Toronto, but don't mind him at 10.8. I don't know if I'd get to Capella. This is not a game that's setting up well for him. I think, he has to go against Precious, which is not bad, but I do think he's going to have a little bit of trouble going against the taller guys of Toronto, sorry. Bogdan, always have interest in him. He is questionable. Not playing well the past 2 games, but at 5,900, don't mind throwing him in the tournament lineup. Let's look at these minutes for these wings. 25, 27, 30. Herter is the best scorer out of all of them, but as you can see, he could just go for 10 fantasy points. So if I was to take a shot on one of the wings, it would probably be Herter, but I don't know if you'd go there. Just really look at Bogdan and Trae for me. Toronto side, we got Pascal, 9.4. Been playing unbelievable, some of his best basketball this season. 29 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists against Miami in a tough spot. Shot the ball really well. 49 fantasy points. His price is up there, so it doesn't make him too attractive when it comes to this spot against Atlanta, but I don't mind him at all. Same thing with Van Fleet. Was on him, had a great game. I do like him in the spot against Toronto or Atlanta as well. 3 back-to-back games of 40 or more fantasy points, 8,100 price. Think he's in a good spot. Doesn't really for me on this side. You can always take a shot on a guy like Gary Trent Jr. He'll play massive minutes. You just need him to shoot the ball well and to shoot a ton because as you can see, 29 points, only 34 fantasy points. Not going to do much when it comes to rebound and assists, so I don't think you go there. I really just think you take your shot on the 2 guys at the top of Toronto. Milwaukee, Chicago. Really love this matchup, for Giannis. He is questionable or probable, but he should play. He's averaged about 60 fantasy points a game against Chicago, about 30 points per game, which is kind of his normal. So love him in this matchup against Chicago. Chicago can't guard him. They don't play any defense. Really like Giannis. Holiday is just too priced up for me at 8,800. Same thing with Middleton. This is a great game environment for these Milwaukee Bucks, but their prices kind of scare me away. So if you want to take if you want to game stack this one, I don't mind it. It's just these guys are pretty pricey. And so, yeah, I don't think I'd go there. Everyone's kind of just priced up to the point. Maybe take a shot on a guy like, Brook Lopez. They'll need him to go against Vooch, but 4,300. He's been kind of capped at like 25 fantasy points. I don't know if you can expect much more unless he has a really, really good game. Not rebounding the ball a ton because he camps out on a 3. And Giannis usually gets the boards. So I don't think you have to force it, but I don't mind that. Otherwise, it's usually just kind of Giannis for me on the Milwaukee side. Chicago side. Excuse me. We got DeRozan, 8,900. Don't mind him at all in this matchup. It should be a little bit faster of a pace game for the Bulls just because Giannis and the Bucks like to run. on fast break. DeMar's been better as of recently, which you like to see. 89 is, his price is getting back up there, but don't mind him at all. Same thing with Zach. We saw Zach come out really hot at the beginning of the Miami game, went off for 33 points, 46 fantasy points. As I said, one of those games where I just consistently said you had to pay $7,400 for Zach because that's the cheapest he's been in a while. I know he wasn't playing well, but I really had a good call on the Zach LaVine, so I hope you guys played him. Really going to play him again. 7,800, price only came up for 400 more. The Bulls need a win. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. Really like him. Vooch, I guess you can go there. Kind of disappointing against the Heat. Got 35 fantasy points, but don't think he could do it. Kobe White sucks. 0 of 9. And a guy like Pat Williams is interesting. He's been good value as recently. I know I said I don't understand why he got 33 versus the Clippers. I played him against Miami and he went off at 12-6, 2-2. The blowout did help, but I don't mind him at 3,800 for some salary relief because he's going to get 20 minutes, and if the game blows out, he'll get more, so he can easily pay that off. Moving on to the last 6 games, Washington, Minnesota. Another great game environment for the Minnesota side. Kuzma is still out. Porzingis at 8,900 looks, decent. Price is just a little too high for me in this matchup. Could be a blowout on the Minnesota side against Washington. Yep, all these guys are playing like 25 minutes. Porzingis is the only one who's getting close to 30. I just don't think he could do it. Just too much blowout risk. If I was to take a shot on someone, it'd be Denny at 5,300, but Sato's price has finally come up. Not been shooting the ball well at all. Maybe take a shot on a guy like Ish Smith. If he's hitting a shot and he's playing well, he will score and he can get assists. He's played 30 and 28 back-to-back games. Those games have been both blowouts. So if, even if there's not a blowout, he's playing close to 20. But if it does blow out, close to 30. So I don't mind taking just a dart throw on Ish Smith at 4,100. That's all I really like on the Washington side. Towns, love him in this matchup against Porzingis, 9,500. Back-to-back good scoring games for Towns. I think it's a great, game environment for him. Same thing with Anthony Edwards. Been playing great recently. I know if I play him here, he'll probably do horrendous. He'll have one of his classic 0 of 10 games and score 5 points. But 4 straight really good games. Good game environment against Washington. I do like Anthony Edwards a little bit at 7,500. D'Lo had a really good game last game against the Houston Rockets. 44 fantasy points. I don't know if you have to go there. I'd really just only go to a guy like Anthony Edwards or Towns on this side. Portland, OKC. Just a disgusting game. Eubanks' price stayed the same. Williams, all these guys' prices have stayed the same. They haven't really been doing well. Watford played. I thought he played. Never was it? Not Watford. It was Greg Brown. Greg Brown played 24 minutes. Decent score. It just they have a 10-man rotation going. I don't know if you really have to get to anyone on the Portland side. Just no one really pops out at me on who to play. Maybe Keon Johnson if he's hitting his shots, but $5K for him is not the best price. OKC side, Theo Maledon, 7,300, as I always say. He had a bad game last game, but Poku did come back and kind of steal some of his usage. Played 36 minutes, had a great game. Triple-double, which I didn't even notice, but I guess I like Poku the best on this side, 6,700. They love running him as the point guard recently, especially last game. So I do really like him in this matchup. Trey Man's out. Maybe a guy like Waters plays a little bit more, but they're running a 10-man rotation as well. Horde only played 24 minutes with Poku back. So if I was to take a shot on the guy, it would just definitely be Poku, and then most likely Theo Maledon, even though his price is a little too high just because of Poku being back, but that's about it. San Antonio side, DeJounte Murray is still out. He is questionable. I know he came out tweeting, he's saying he's sick, but maybe Pop will throw him in, who knows. with him being out, Trey Jones got the start, played great. If Trey Jones starts again, definitely play him at 4,000. Same thing with Zach Collins. As I said, the past few games, play him. I know Poto got ruled out, so he got the start, but went off. I don't think Poto will be out this game, so I don't think Zach's gonna get 30 minutes. He'll probably get closer to his 15 amount. So it looks like he's out of play as of right now. Really on the side, it's just kind of looking at Trey Jones. I don't think he has to force anyone else. Denver side, Jokic been playing unbelievable. Probably the MVP back-to-back seasons. Look at that. 72, 70, 72, 70, 75, 77. Unreal. 12-5. His price is up there. But yeah, been playing amazing. Great spot against the Spurs. Aaron Gordon, don't think he to go there. As I said, Will Barton is pretty much the secondary scorer. I know Aaron Gordon has been having some good games as recently. 5 of the past 6, he scored 20 or more. I don't know if you have to chase it. I'd rather go to a guy like Will Barton. Maybe Bolton Tylands get some more run. He's been playing, closer to 30 minutes, which you like to see. So at 5,100, not a bad price. That really does it for me. That's all I say. DeMarcus can put up points in a little amount of time. It's just you need them to play, which I don't know if they play DeMarcus if they blow him out. So I don't think I'd go there. Last 3 games, I know this video is a little bit long, but I just want to give you guys some good analysis and insight. Ja's still out. Love Desmond Bane, 7,400. Been their de facto point guard with Ja out. Has some big game upside. Good price, 7,400. Jaren Jackson price, okay. Dylan Brooks, prices come up with all those starters missed in the recent game. Don't think you could do that. Tyus Jones, 6K. Okay price for Tyus. I don't think you can chase 21 shots against the Spurs. I think he'll stay more in that 10 to 12 range. Good assist opportunities, so 6K is not bad for Tyus. I think I'd rather take a shot on DeAnthony Melton, though. Got the start last game, did okay, but he is still going to play close to 20, 25 minutes with Tyus starting. Really good scorer off the bench, has rebound assist opportunities, so I don't mind going to Melton over Tyus with the ownership. Utah side, we have Donovan Mitchell, 8,600. Just hasn't been having those ceiling games at all. Been scoring the ball decent. Just not having those ceiling games that you want from Donovan Mitchell. Maybe this is a game against Memphis in a pace-up spot. But I just don't think you have to chase it, either with Rudy. Mike Conley finally had a good game, 48 fantasy points. Don't think you can expect that. I mean, the only guy I'd take a dart throw on is Donovan Mitchell and then maybe Jordan Clarkson. Otherwise, I don't think I'd get to that Utah side. Pelicans been playing great. Unfortunately, the game blew out last game. CJ was going to get there, but then obviously it was like a 20-point game from the second quarter on. But I do really like him in this matchup against the Kings. They should be able to score really easily. So I love CJ at 8,700. Same thing with Valanciunas. Price is up a bit. I think I'd rather get to CJ and Brandon Ingram, but don't mind him as well. Brandon Ingram been playing great. Just had a bad game last game. Still got you close to 30 fantasy points. Even when they got blown out, he still played 35 minutes. So do really like Brandon Ingram once again, and with CJ. King side, Sabonis and Fox are questionable, but I doubt they'll play them. There's only 4 games left. There's no reason to bring them back. But if for some reason they're back, I don't know if they'll play full run. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait for the news. But that would definitely take that Damian Mitchell out of play. But if they're still out, Damian is still reliable at 7,900. Prices come up a lot. Hasn't been playing well recently when it comes to scoring. But it'd be an okay play against the Pelicans. Damian Jones, 6,600. Only other guy I'd take a shot on is maybe a guy like Trey Lyles. Not the best scorer, but can get you, if he hits a good game, can score and, get rebounds, assists. But, yeah, I don't really like anyone on that King side. Last game of the day, Lakers, Phoenix. LeBron should play. Anthony Davis should play. They're trying to get back into that 10th playoff spot. We'll have to wait on the news. But if they both play, do really like LeBron. His usage does go down a little bit with AD back, but do really like him. Same with AD. This is a tough matchup, but you should probably expect both guys to play their hardest and really well. They should both be able to get, 20 plus points easily. So I do really like him against Phoenix, even though it's not a great game for Phoenix. Only thing that is questionable is if Phoenix rests their guys. I don't think they will. I think they might want to play for some franchise records like wins and home wins. So maybe I think they should be able to play the whole game. We'll have to see. I know they have some beef with the Lakers, so maybe they'll run them the whole game. If they do, like Chris Paul at 8,200, a good price for him, especially in this matchup against the Lakers. He should want to perform well. Could always take a shot on a guy like, DeAndre Ayton, 7,100. A little up and two up and down for me. Guy I do like in this spot is Jay Crowder. Should play 30 plus minutes. They'll want him to guard LeBron. And if he's hitting his threes, he's going to get 2 rebounds and assists, maybe a steal or 2, maybe a block. So at 5,100, not a bad price to pay for Jay Crowder, especially if you're playing those Laker guys. I think that does it for me today, guys. I know it's a long one, but we do still have, almost 24 hours till the games start. So this is definitely going to set you guys in the right foot of just kind of breaking down the games, who you kind of want to look at and target, and go from there. If you do enjoy my content, please leave me a like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and do follow me on Twitter. I do appreciate all the love and support recently, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a prize pick video. Thank you guys.